Well, that was some way to, like, kick, what the fuck am I trying to say? Okay, this was one hell of an ending to Spring is in the Air Season 1. And, the best prequel to Season 2 of Fun in the Sun this Sunday. I mean, best premiere night I've ever had in a long time since I began my modern TV life on Wednesday, August 26, 2015, with, from the same honchos of this banger, the first of two banger shows, you know what I mean. Chris and Brian, you know me too well. Ever since I began my modern TV life with the original project, the same honchos who created the Villains of Valley View show, live in La Vida Lab Rats, easily the greatest premiere day I've ever had in my TV life since 2015 when it began. And Untucked Jersey, after a hard day's work, recording my final Spring is in the Air YouTube video, which is probably going to be, this is actually going to be up before that. Oh my God. We had quite the day. Finally, we're getting some good fucking Fridays for once, now that the weather's fucking nice and summer is around the corner. Because when it was fucking blistering cold here in Northeast Ohio, oh my God, Fridays was week after week after week after week. Fridays were sucking ass big time. I didn't know what to do with myself, even when times in general were good. It's like I never wanted to come in on work on Fridays because of the shitty cold weather. Now that we got warm weather again, I want to come in on Fridays every week. Even if Ultra and Villains and even Bunk'd wasn't on the Friday schedule for summer 2022, I still want to go in. But let's get into what we're meant to get into. Reaction video time. And so be aware, Ultraviolet cast and Villains of Valley View cast. I mean, I know Chris and Brian didn't get this in 2015 and 16 when I was living La Vida Lab Rats with Kelly Berglund. I mean, I don't even think, Night Squad got it too with John B. Beck and Ron Hart, who I'm going to save for, discussion, people I'm going to deal with another day. Other TV friends, from some shows I'm going to deal with another day. I'm going to deal with them another day, but they're the least of my concern. I want to focus on Chris and Brian, but every other show before, from, Lab Rats and Night Squad, didn't get this kind of reaction video that was all going up on YouTube. They were always short Twitter reaction videos. They never even got to go on Instagram because Instagram didn't have unlimited, time length video uploads back in the day, which was horseshit because, I'm glad they have it now, but at the same time, they should have had it this whole fucking time, A Million Little Things didn't get it in season 1, 2, and 3. A lot of these shows didn't get it at first. Now they are getting it. I mean, some shows never got reaction videos at all. Almost all of them that are now gone did, but not like this. But, so therefore, Villains of Valley View cast, Ultraviolet cast, these reaction videos each and every Friday night, you're going to be in for a real treat. So, let's start off with Chris Peterson and Brian Moore. The two men who brought you the greatest show of all time, Live in La Vida Lab Rats, to the greatest actress of all time, Kelly Michelle Berglund, as Brie Davenport Olivares. This one didn't disappoint. I mean, wow. Before we talk about the storyline, I want to talk about from the two episodes, the Steve Park, Rusty Wallace installment. I want to talk about the characters. So I narrowed it down to my three favorites. Isabella Papas as Amy. We have Kaden Moeller as Hartley, because, I have a name connection to, that Hartley's actress, and, a boy Kaden with the C and with no Y, who, one of my best of friends who I call the Alex Trebek birthday boy because he has the same birthday as the late Jeopardy host, Alex Trebek, may he rest in peace. And, of course, Mariah Iman Wilson as Starling. It sounds like Sterling, the king of stirring it, Sterling Marlin, the driver of the number 40 Coors Light Dodge Intrepid for Chip Ganassi Racing, the Silver Bullet, people over the world, Joyland, got a love train, Love Train. See, stuff like that is why we call it the Sterling Marlin song, because it was in fucking Coors Light commercial with the Silver Bullet, which the second song nickname is it's not the Silver Bullet song. No, it's a little bit of a reach. The Coors Light song. But between those three, I officially picked who's number one for me. And it's pretty safe to say, since not many people know who she is, Isabella Papas is my number one favorite person from this whole goddamn show. I'll tell you why, though. I will tell you why. Because she was the first one I reached out to after Chris and Brian, revealed the cast and revealed all the promos. She was the one who caught my attention first. Because, even as a dude, I've always been a woman lover, because almost all of my friends are girls, including the ones I see on TV all the time. But Isabella Papas really stood out to me, because in real life, she's a sweetheart, an absolute sweetheart. I know a lot of sweethearts who I know in real life, but I bet you Isabella Papas would count as one, too, if I knew her in real life. I mean, oh my goodness. But the character version of her, Amy, and the villain's version of Amy, she's fucking Billy Badass, man. And God, I love, I was hanging out with one of my best of friends, Amber, my next door neighbor, a couple nights ago. And she was cussing up a storm and being silly. I've always found the most attractive thing in a woman is the humor and silliness when they try to act silly with their guy friends just to fuck around with them. So that's what Amy was doing with that Billy badass personality. Like, god damn, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, it just. So therefore, you guessed it, Amy is my favorite character. Second in command is a two-way tie. Starling and Hartley. They're second in command. That means they're the favorites after, like number one favorites after. But the ultimate number one, that's all you, Isabella. And to top it all off, I can pay to call you. Even though we're only 2 episodes into the fucking season, I can already considering myself your number one fan. So I love you, Isabella. Man, Ganta, keep up that Billy badass and personality and character. That was for you. Also, I have TikTok, so therefore go follow me there. I will send some of TikTok to you, some of you in the DMs after the night is over and I'm done uploading my Spring is in the Air, YouTube finale. And, speaking of Barbara, who played, that, mother of that missing Daniela girl, she just replied to my comments. So shout out to you. I'll get to Ultraviolet a little later. But to some of you, Ultraviolet and, Villains of Valley View cast members, even though I was talking about Villains of Valley View first, I will send you some of you my TikTok accounts, my main and my second account for YouTube updates, and the link to my YouTube channel within the next few days before we get to the Dale Sr. installment next week. But let's talk about the episodes now. I had enough praising everybody, but all this Isabella Papa, Amy Love Fest, but it's time. Okay, so what was the first episode like? It didn't take long for someone to figure out the secret. At least it wasn't known to the whole world. At least it wasn't known. So, having, Hartley figure out the secret, was pretty obvious someone was going to figure it out. But I didn't think they were going to someone was going to know that quickly. And they're trying to hide it from poor Celia. And, oh my God, so many Kyle Petty close calls. If we did a count over how many Kyle Petty close calls we had in the Steve Park, Rusty Wallace installment of Villains of Valley View, oh my God, it would probably break the fucking scale to the point where we wouldn't even be able to keep count no more, even if we never lost count to begin with. But oh my God, apparently, she Hartley said, your secret will be safe with me. I'm not going to tell my grandmother. And, oh my God, that's why Amy was showing that Billy badass attitude. Billy fucking badass. Oh my God. And then the Rusty Wallace installment, a blackmailing contest. Now, if any of us tried this shit in real life, whether it was the caster of the show in real life, or even me or any regular real life human being, this would be a fucking felony. This would be completely borderline illegal and rebellious. We may be going to fucking prison if we do this in real life. Good thing it's just a show where Chris and Brian and the honchos at Disney pay these actors to do this kind of stuff that we wouldn't get us people in real life wouldn't get away with. So I thought first I thought the blackmailing was gonna work, and then the po-po comes in, and then I thought the plan was going to work, and then I thought that Hartley was really gonna get blackmailed, and honest to God, I didn't know she knew the whole time. I mean, it's like, Amy, Jake, and, was Chaos like Casey Atwood in there? Oh, no, Chaos and Jacob, no, Chaos, yeah, I'm gonna start calling Jake, Chaos, I'm gonna start calling him Chaos like Casey Atwood, 'cause that's my tagline for Casey Atwood, the number 7 Sirius satellite radio Dodge Intrepid for Ultra Everham Motorsports. Oh my God. But first of all, I wanted to say the first major scene that caught my attention was Chaos, aka Jake, say-jacking the hell out of that couch in the living room. But, so, honestly, just like Kim, Amy, and, what was the dad's name? Jesus Christ, what the fuck was the dad's name? Oh my God. Vic. Okay. Vic, Amy, and Jake, I was like them. I didn't know that Hartley knew they were trying to blackmail her. When they saw that the statue wasn't in the locker, I thought the Popo was then going to arrest somebody, but he didn't. And of course the blackmailing backfired because, I can understand the family is terrified of, her, Hartley saying, your secret's safe with me, but then telling everybody anyway. I mean, we haven't seen nothing yet. This is only the beginning. This is only the fucking beginning. Like, goddamn. I mean, and then of course we had the first subplot of the season in the Rusty Wallace installment. Then we got, this whole sweater thing. Poor Colby. That guy, although to be fair, on his defense, that boy is slick. He is slick a fucking Rooney. What more can you ask for? But even the slickest character was taking a beating tonight. He was but in a way you wouldn't expect. Not with someone's fist, but, in the form of a sweater. He was getting, condiments and water and debris all over him. And somehow Celia never figured, what the hell was going on. So many Kyle Petty close calls in that. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Villains of Valley View did not disappoint. Isabella Papas led the way and tore that shit up like Terry Labonte. Me encanta! Speaking of Me Encanta, now we gotta go to the second end of the doubleheader. Ultraviolet and Black Scorpion. Living La Vida Ultra as opposed to Living La Vida Loca like Ricky Martin, written by Robbie Draco Rosa and Desmond Child. So, now let's analyze the characters. And I'm going to pick as my favorites here. So, it's pretty obvious Scarlet as Violet is my favorite. Not because she's the main character, no. Because I've supported her since her Bunk'd days as Gwen, even though I came in when she left at the end of season 4. I did get to see her for one season 5 episode as a special guest star, but that was it. And then, of course, we have her friend, Maya, Zelia. So, I narrowed it down to 2, and it was hard to fucking pick. I think Zelia as Maya, or how you say her name, the character's name, sorry if I'm not saying character name correctly, and of course Scarlet being Violet, only because I've supported her since before Ultraviolet was even thought of. It's a two-way tie for them being my number 1 favorite character. So Scarlet, Zelia, Violet, and Maya are both tied for number 1. Both of you are number 1 in my book when it comes to favorite characters. So, alright, let's talk about the episode. So, we saw some of the clips that they were showing in the promo for the Steve Parker installment where Violet found the mask. And it was crazy that, you know, Black Scorpion ended up, they didn't want us to know this in the promo. It was kind of crazy how at first when they said about who is your Uncle Cruz coming, I'm like, okay, who's Uncle Cruz? I'm like, who the fuck? I know it's their uncle, but who the fuck is this Cruz guy, generally speaking? Little did I know that it was actually Black Scorpion. That shocked me to death. And then you have this whole first episode. Okay, what was I know the second episode had, you know, Violet not, you know, getting it through her brain, you know, not understanding how you have to work hard to earn, like, you know, heavyweight things in life. And she tried to do this on her own without help, and of course it backfired. And she was lucky her uncle, like in disguise, was there to save her, saying, he didn't say it like this, but this is how he meant this. What the fuck is wrong with you? You could have been fucking hurt. You could have fucking injured yourself, or probably would have been fucking killed. I mean, he didn't say it like that, but that's how he meant it. That's how he meant it. But she just started walking back crying, and Mail was there to come for her, and she threw the mask away in the garbage truck. I thought that mask was gone forever, but when the little girl, Daniela, got lost and her mom couldn't find her and she called the police and they didn't show up, I should have known the mask was going to come back one way or another. Like, you can't fucking get rid of that thing. The newspaper came up and here comes a newspaper mask, and Ultraviolet saved that little girl and got to hear her brother sing as, you know, regular Violet. It was a storybook ending for the Rusty Wallace installment. Now, the Steve Parker installment. Okay, what even happened in that one? Oh, yeah, like, you know, okay, now I know. Okay, Violet tried to beg her uncle to help, like, you know, help her, you know, train her to be a superhero. So, second one, he actually granted, okay, the first episode, she wanted to learn, but, you know, he refused, like Jeff Gordon. And then until like the very end, when he said, okay, fine, I'll see you tomorrow. So yeah, I know. No, that's where it picks up in the next episode. He was trying to teach her, but she was so impatient. And, you know, she didn't want to believe it, but then all of a sudden she realized he was right. So, therefore, I'm glad they talked that shit out and got it all straightened out like Scott goddamn Pruitt. And now they're working together and looking good. So, I look forward to the Dale Sr. Austin Dillon installment of both shows next week. And the world premiere of Season 6 of Bunk'd, the Steve Park installment of that. So, Miranda Elizabeth May and Mallory James Mahoney, your number one fan, I don't know, you're not going to be tagged in this, but your number one fan, Mark Anthony Oliveras, is going to be back for more like Mike Skinner and Camp Kikiwaka in the Wild Wild West. So when your number one fan shows up, like not in the camp, but in the like spiritually through the TV, it'll be between me and you two of you. It's Bob Vila, look out. So anyway, I got to go get a shower and eat dinner and, you know, drink some ice cold Coca-Cola, my favorite drink, which is the official soft drink of NASCAR, and get ready for whatever the hell I'm going to do tomorrow. And no, I'm not watching Gateway Gateway. I'm not watching Gateway of Portland this weekend because I have basically gotten older, you know, here's what I wanted to tell the cast of both shows that appear, at least the ones who appear in tonight's episode. So let me show you guys something to end this video. See all these little things right here? Yeah, I'm a big NASCAR fan. Well, kind of yes, kind of no. I still love it, but I'm not obsessed with it anymore. When I was a little guy, in 2001, starting in 2001 when Dale Earnhardt, well, let me show you who this guy is. When that guy right there, the Intimidator, Ralph Dale Earnhardt Sr., the driver of the number 3, GM Goodwin Service Plus Chevrolet Monte Carlo for Richard Childress Racing, and this last ride car that I have, that I got for Christmas, the Christmas after he died. So when I first got into that sport, when I lived in Michigan in the Lenore House, which was one of my childhood neighborhoods, after my origination of my life in Ohio in the 90s here in Ohio ended, you know, the first house we bought was one of 22nd in 98, 99 when I began liking the Spurs, Ricky Martin, and of course Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. But Lenore, Michigan, living in Michigan is what gave me NASCAR, not out here in Ohio. So 2001 pre-Mexico, and, you know, Michigan / Lenore, post Mexico, I was so invested in the NASCAR every single week, to the point where I just wanted to catch every race. I was so obsessed I was that passionate. Excuse me. My passion was all the way up here. It was all the way up here. I didn't want to miss any races. Whenever someone wanted to go somewhere with me and do something, and on a Saturday or Sunday, even if it was for the Busch Series at the sometimes too, or, Winston Nextel Cup, if it was a Saturday night race, or even a Sunday, of course, the usual Sunday race. Maybe Fridays really didn't count because I was in school, so there was no way I was going to catch a Busch race on a Friday unless it was at night. But still, I didn't want to. I would tell them no and forego things and doing stuff with people because I just wanted to watch NASCAR every single week. That's how obsessed I was with it. And here's a little plot twist of me doing that growing up. If the race was a night race and we were gone, if doing something in the daytime, I would make my mom or my dad or my grandparents, one of them or both of them, drive me back to Lenore. That way I could watch a night race. Or if we were coming into Ohio to visit family, which we didn't have family here in Michigan. They were all here in Ohio when and my parents and sister originated here, so in the 90s. So therefore, sometimes when our home, a home base was my southern childhood home, Brook Park in the Sandhurst. So before I took it over, it was my grandparents' house. And apparently, whenever there was a night race and we were out somewhere, I would make them drive me home to drive me to Sandhurst, which was my grandparents at the time, and even on our house on Lenore to just so I could catch it. Even on Sandhurst when I lived in it, as I turned into a teen. Sure, every once in a while I would forego races to do things, but not very often. I still wanted to catch every race. If it was summer vacation, maybe I would come out every once in a while. At least in 2012, 2013, I would come out in the middle of the week because I didn't have to go to school or anything. And most of 2014, the last full year I was in Sandhurst, I was still having summers off to the point where I had more time to go outside on Monday through Friday. But then even when I did stuff with the neighbors on Sandhurst, I would run in the house on Friday nights or, to watch what was then called the Nationwide Series, which, it took me years to stop calling it that. I mean, I still rotated calling it the Busch Series and what the current name, the Xfinity Series. I would just run inside to watch those. And, same thing out like in Lenore. If we were somewhere in the middle of the daytime and there was a night race, I would make my mom or my dad drive me back home to watch it at night. Oh, and even this used to happen too. What I used to do is if we were gone for a long time, and then on a race day, it was the middle of the day and they had cable TV, I'd make them turn it on. So that goes to show you how obsessed I was when my passion was all the way up here. Lenore and Sandhurst, all this stuff used to happen. Even in the early days, it was kind of like here in the Ridgeville, Sandy Ridge house. It was kind of like that too. I actually wanted to start doing stuff with people every once in a while, but at the same time, I still wanted to catch. I try to catch. It went from wanting to catch every race to trying to catch every race. That was the case in 2015. Even Nationwide, it was started calling Xfinity by then, but it took me years to start calling it Nationwide. Even Xfinity and trucks, I wanted to catch too, because that's 2015, my passion just was up here, breaking the scale. It just went over the meter. 2016, it was slightly below that, but still all the way at the top. But then the last full year I was fully blown into last season I was fully blown into it was 2020. Well, no choice because we couldn't even do anything in 2020 because of stuff going on in the world with COVID and all. But last year was the first year I wasn't fully blown into it. I started to get older to the point where when the climate felt bad for us here in our area and for not, concerning how we couldn't spend our summer in 2020 the way we were used to. So they gave us early summer weather conditions in March and April before the actual official summer season could get here. It was like upper 70s, lower to 80s in March and April, and it wasn't even anywhere near summer, actual official summertime yet, like May or June. So therefore, that's when I, started to get older and, basically wanted to find better stuff to do when weather's good like this, to the point where I really don't care no more if I have to miss a race. If I miss a race, so be it. I basically have found better stuff to do, and today proved a perfect example. And Sunday is going to prove a perfect example when I bring you the Season 2 premiere of Fun in the Sun. So, therefore, nowadays, this is what I missed on Lenore and Sandhurst because I did the other stuff. Now, I don't care now, to the point where when I'm done having a good time with my friends, neighbors, best friends, and loved ones, and I park the bus at the end of the night after I'm done taking my shower, while I'm eating dinner and drinking ice cold Coke, I can always check the highlight reel on YouTube, or watch people's like reaction videos and stuff, like NASCAR YouTubers who've been in the NASCAR YouTube industry longer than I have. So yeah, I wanted to share that story with all of you. But right now I'm gonna get off this thing and take a shower, eat a steak dinner, drink some ice cold Coke, edit and upload the Spring is in the Air Season 1 finale YouTube video, and which obviously all of that's going to happen after I upload this. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Life will give you a lot of lows, but when you hit a high, enjoy it. It ain't for the weak. Goddamn, be you. You have to try harder to do less. You can't deport a dream. Sometimes the worst things in life lead to the best things. Always bet on the side of love. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, which is what we're learning with Ultraviolet. And best of all, sometimes you just got to be present. So take care, everyone. Good night, and I will see you all next week when we start the Friday night summer Disney Channel television triple header with the Dale Senior installment of these two newbies, these new expansion shows, and of course the Steve Park installment of Season 6 of Bunk'd. And I gotta say it one last time. Me encanta Isabella Papas. Amy's my number one. So see you later, everyone, and love you, Isabella.